All right, Locals Wool Tracker, Saturday, October 3rd. I'm back in town, and let's get on with it. Hindcasting here. We've had a lot of activity in the tropics, 23 storms up to hurricane force. This is back last Saturday. We had a system here off to the southeast of the Big Island. It didn't bother us too much. Luckily, we've missed everything, or it's missed us. Let's start in the animations. You could see a lot of storminess, and this fetch here from last Monday brought in some waves midweek to the windward side, increased the periods up to about 11 seconds. We had 2 to 3, maybe plus over there at Makapu'u and top reefs along the windward side from this fetch here. That wasn't the significant thing. This guy that's forming right here. Now, this system had some hurricane force winds up to almost 65 knots. Pockets, most of the pockets were lighter, but still at the proximity of the fetch, nose to within 600 miles of us, and that means less decay time over distance traveled, and that's why we're seeing 6 to 10 foot surf up in the country today from this culprit right here. It's the first north swell of the season that's extratropical outside of the tropical zone here of 20 north of the equator, 20 south of the equator. That 2,400 mile north to south area has been so active. I think the last count was 23 storms, tropical storms / hurricanes. You can see a lot of activity starting to form out here. Let's start in the animation. As this guy fades out, this guy builds. Now, this is a tropical system named Choiwan, which will be traveling up towards Japan and up towards Kamchatka as a huge system. Let me loop through these. We'll also be seeing some small northwest swell from this system spinning up here up by the Kurils and Kamchatka. We'll start in the animation here, let it loop through one time. So a decent fetch here, the best fetch here from the north-northeast. A new system setting up here for minor west swell, but it's a significant storm. Let's bring the models to October 3rd today. There's the remnant system that's already weakening, fairly close to the islands. It'll be slowly fading out to 8, maybe even leftover 10-footers Sunday morning. This system off here, Choiwan, will be developing. Let's show you that guy. Will be a little bit of a west swell on the lower flanks of this, but boy, I'll be bringing some serious waves up to the Kurils, Japan, and Kamchatka. Let's go and take a look at a system that pops over here. This is another tropical storm. This one is Oho, and there's a pair of them actually that'll be tracking up north up to the west coast. Now, what these two guys are doing down here with the big high pressure spinning clockwise off to the northwest is increasing the pressure gradient between that high in the blue regions and these two storms, and that's why we see these northeasterly fresh to strong paced trade winds. A lot of times that's what creates the best fetches when a high pressure is alongside the low. Now, the jet stream has elongated, consolidated, dropped lower over time. Right now you can see in the early runs of this, it's fairly zonal, but it does do a tilt down towards us, out towards the end of the 7-day forecast run, and hopefully that will allow us to keep the swells coming in our direction. Here we are. And now we'll take a look down under because it's also been super active, but the storms have been very zonal or west to east in their flow, along with the jet stream, and we'll get to that. But this is going back to last weekend, which brought us some waves yesterday up to, 2.5 feet, and these fetches are right here, partially sideband swell, and that's why it's not real sizable. If it was pointing up our way, it'd be better. So here's a system right here, 30th. This guy will be bringing us up on Tuesday. It's the first in a pair of storms to about 3 feet on Tuesday, and starting in the animations again, we get a one that follows up with it right here, and that one will be coming in for Thursday, and that one should be boosting us up to 2 to 3 feet as well. So the upcoming week, town will be rideable along with the country. Country will see the fading north-northeast swell and a new small north-northwest from the systems I was showing you in the prior animation. All right, let's take a look. You can see the swell periods emanating out from that system I was showing you down below the Gulf. Then we have all these systems coming up with long periods from those big storms down under. Again, most of it is sideband swell, relying on angular spreading of these large swells, but they're sending most of their energy off to the America, South America, and North America. As you can see, these super long periods from those big storms down there. Bali and West Oz are just going off right now. But actually, this is the big guy right here because he's so close to us, as I was talking about, the proximity factor. That's what brings the country up so big, especially during El Nino years when the jet stream drops super low and those storms get closer to the islands. They're more numerous storms, they're more intense, and they're closer. But anyway, these are the swell periods. Let's take a look at the surface hand-drawn charts. You can see Oho down here, that low pressure bringing us in this large north-northeast swell. Here's Choi Wan over here developing, and that huge, powerful, high pressure off to our northwest. We